Vratny-Smith. Today's practice is going to engage all of our body, working through shoulders and hip joints, as well as focusing on our core, both lengthening the sides and strengthening both the front and the back of the core. All right. Let's find our comfortable seat on a blanket or cushion supporting the hips. And we'll begin with rubbing the palms of the hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And then we'll take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. Then bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. And when you're ready, you can float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or gazing softly downward. Extend your spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lift your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. Take another deep breath in as we tune in with 3 ohms. Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Allow each inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. As you come to your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening, contracting and relaxing. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding the lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. Take one more full, complete breath. And when you reach the end of your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Bringing your awareness to your right hand, allow the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together. And bring those fingertips to your heart center, turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart, looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath. Excuse me, allow its warm, sorry. I lost track in my own brain. We'll start that over. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. And as you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement. honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently opening your eyes. And if you'd like to change positions or switch your legs, please go ahead and do that. As you come to your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by our ears. And exhale, press the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Let's bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down. Tuck the shoulder blades back and down, gently squeezing, strengthening the muscles around the scapula, lifting the heart. And let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart a little more, gently squeezing the center of the shoulder blades together, wringing out any tension. And then opening the arms wide, turning the palms up, drawing the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other, breathing into the heart, opening the chest. And if it feels okay, flexing the wrists, pressing through the palms. And then bringing the arms in front, crossing the right over the left, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or left hand around the right wrist, or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeezing the arms together, breathing into the upper back, creating space. Soften the jaw, lengthen through the back of the neck. And as it feels okay, you can begin to lower and lift the elbows. And with your next inhaling breath, lifting the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round. With your next inhale, coming back to center, we'll unwrap the arms, open wide, pressing through the palms if that feels okay. Drawing the shoulder blades back toward each other. Breathing into the heart. And then we'll bring the arms in front, crossing the left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist, or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, gently squeezing the arms together or pushing the elbows away as you breathe into the upper back, creating space. Jaw is relaxed. Lengthen through the back of the neck by drawing the chin gently toward the throat. And then begin to lower and lift the elbows with the breath if that feels okay. Extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with your next inhale, lift the elbows up a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round. And then with your next inhale, coming back to center, we'll unwrap the arms, opening wide, tucking the shoulder blades down. Let's rotate the palms up. Keeping the shoulder blades tucked, we'll rotate forward, following your breath, working on that internal rotation of the shoulders. And then we'll soften through the shoulders and make some circles with our wrists. And reverse. Let's bring the hands together at the heart, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms out in front. Roll the shoulders forward, round the spine, drop the chin. With your next inhale, lift the palms up over the head, gently arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin. Soften the elbows, rolling the shoulder blades back toward each other. Wringing out any tension as you draw those upper corners together. Soft jaw, release the back of the neck. And if it feels okay, pressing through the palms a little higher, listening to your elbows and shoulders. And with your next inhale, lift your chin. And as you exhale, float the hands down. We'll take a breath in and out. Let's bring the left knee to meet the right. So we're sitting on that right hip. We'll inhale the hands behind the head, lifting the heart. And as you exhale, reach the left elbow toward the ankles. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift. And exhale, reach. Hold and breathe. Dropping that right hip toward the mat, lifting the heart. Right elbow reaches up toward the sky. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, float the hands down, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the hip. Face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the right. Head comes around last. Lifting the heart with your inhale, gently twisting through the exhale. If it feels okay for your neck, with your next inhale, turn your chin over your left shoulder, letting that breath go. And with your inhale, turning your chin over the right shoulder, letting that breath go. And then gently inhaling back to the center. We'll switch our legs. So sitting on the left hip with the feet to the right. Again, having the legs a little wider if that feels more stable. Also adding any supports under knees or hips as needed. With your next inhale, we'll interlace the fingers behind the head. And as you exhale, reach the right elbow toward the ankles. Inhale, lift. exhale, reach. Inhale, lift. And exhale, reach. Dropping that left hip toward the mat, lifting the heart, left elbow reaching up toward the sky. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, floating the hands down, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. Face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the left, head comes around left. Lifting the heart with the inhale, twisting through the exhale. Hold and breathe. If it feels okay for your neck, with your next inhale, turn your chin over the right shoulder. And as you exhale, letting the breath go, then inhaling back to the left shoulder, letting the breath go, and inhale back to the center. And let's extend our legs out in front of us. We'll cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And we're gonna interlace the fingers and toes. So working those in, they might be a little tight as it's been winterish and we've had our feet in shoes. And when you have that done, we'll make some gentle circles with the ankle. Trying to let go with the muscles in the ankle, letting the hand do the work. And reversing those circles. And gently unlacing the fingers, wrapping the fingertips underneath the little toe. Right hand comes underneath the right ankle. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, lifting the leg just as far as feels okay. Inhale, lower the leg, lift the chest. Exhale, lifting the leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And inhale, lower. And you can keep the foot in the palm of the hand, bring it to the forearm or into the crease of the elbow. And then you can bring the right hand out to the side, either bringing the hand to the knee or wrapping the arm around. So doing what feels right for your body. That knee is needing to not be so tight today. And then we'll gently rock. Just lubricating those hips a little bit. And then we'll gently hug the leg in just as far as feels okay. And lower that leg down. Just taking a moment to kind of notice how the right and the left feel, the same or different. And then we'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh, placing the palm of the right hand on the left foot. We'll interlace those fingers and toes, and then begin to make some slow, gentle circles with the ankle. Again, releasing the ankle, letting the hand do all the work. And reversing the circles. And then we'll unlace the fingers and toes, wrapping the fingers underneath the little toe. Bringing the left hand under the left ankle and lifting the spine tall with our inhale. Exhale, lifting the leg just as far as feels okay. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. We'll place the foot in the palm of the hand, the forearm or the elbow. Left arm comes out to the side, either taking hold at the knee or wrapping around. You can interlace the fingers if that feels okay. Might be a little different one side to the other. And then when you're ready, gently rocking from side to side, lubricating the hip, also regulating the brain at the brain stem through that rhythmic motion. And then when you're ready, gently pulling the leg toward the torso, just as far as feels okay. And then extending the legs out. We'll extend the legs out in front of us, lifting the spine up tall. Let's flex the feet. Shoulders are back and down. You can rest the hands on the legs, floor, or the mat, or also put the hands a little bit behind the hips to help lift the torso a little more if that feels good. Engaging the quadriceps in the thighs, drawing the kneecaps up to gently lift the heels off the floor, being careful not to hyperextend through the back of the knee. Reaching through the heel, pressing the sitting bones into the mat as you lift through the spine. And then gently soften. We'll inhale the arms up over the head. And exhale, fold forward, resting the hands on the legs, floor, or feet, whatever feels right for your body. Lengthening the spine with your inhale, softening through the exhale. With your next inhale, lift up tall, shoulders back and down. We'll place the hands a few inches behind the hips. And let's bend the knees, placing the feet on the floor. Inhale, lifting the hips high. Exhale, gently lowering, hovering if that feels okay. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and hover. Inhale, lift. This time hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Pressing the hips high, head extends out from the spine, elbows stay slightly bent. And then we'll gently lower the rest of the way down, shaking out those wrists. And let's take hold behind the knees, balancing on the tailbone and our toes, and we'll work with forward boat pose. So thinking about engaging the lower belly muscles, drawing them down like a seatbelt. And when you're ready, you could lift one leg and then the other, Or if it feels okay, you could lift both legs so the calves are parallel to the mat. Notice if your shoulders want to scrunch up and so you can draw them down. Stay here, or if it feels okay, extend the legs out. And from either position, you can either keep hold behind the legs or extend the arms out. Drawing those belly muscles down, expanding the ribs with the breath. And we'll gently release, dropping the knees out to the side, soles of the feet together. We'll gently push those feet away from us, making a diamond with the legs, sliding the hands underneath the shins, and rounding the spine, coming into star pose. Breathing into the back. And then we'll gently roll the spine up, shoulders back and down, bringing the knees back together. Let's round the spine and drop the chin, gently rolling onto our backs. We'll have our feet on the floor, shoulders tucked under, arms alongside the body. Walking the feet as close as feels comfortable to your hips. Shoulders are tucked under, arms alongside the body, palms facing down. Let's work with bridge pose. So press those feet, the balls of the feet into the floor, and press your shoulders back into the mat. And with your next inhale, tuck the pelvis, roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Hips come up high. Exhale, slowly lowering down. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, scoop and lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Chin is gently away from the chest. Shoulders are pressed back into the mat. You can stay here or interlace your fingers, rocking the arms underneath the body, and then either keeping the elbows bent or extending the arms depending on how that feels for your elbows and shoulders. You can also use a strap, taking hold of that underneath the back as well. Then thinking about the knees being parallel to each other as you root into the feet, hips lifting high, engaging both the inner and outer quads in the thigh. Releasing the hands or strap, walking the shoulders out and rolling the spine down. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, tuck the pelvis, pressing the low back into the mat. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. And exhale, tuck. Inhale, release, and let the breath go. Let's bend the knees, bringing them over the torso gently. Spreading the knees wide. can take hold either underneath the knees or reaching the arms between the legs, taking hold of the arches of the feet. And from either position, bringing the soles of the feet to face the ceiling, low back sinking toward the mat, lengthening through the neck, softening through the hips. Relax the muscles of the face as you surrender into Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. And let's lower the feet down, bring the knees back together. Take a breath in and out. And let's lower the feet down, extending them out. We'll shift to one side and roll over onto our bellies. Bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders. Spreading the fingers wide, we'll work with Sphinx pose. So thinking about pressing into the top of the feet, activating the legs, pressing into the pelvic bone and lifting through the low back all the way up to the back of the head, pressing into the elbows and pressing into the fingertips, activating all the muscles through the body except for the face, allowing those muscles to be soft. So the opposite of how we practiced last week with the yin practice where we let the body kind of hang and soften. Today we're activating those muscles, strengthening them, reaching from the toes to the top of the head, rooting through the pelvic bone, elbows, and fingertips. And with your next exhale, let's soften and bring the elbows out, forehead to the back of the hands, soften through all the leg muscles and shoulders. And if it feels okay for your body, you could either stay here or you can put the toes on the floor and turn the knee out. So adding that crocodile leg. So toes tuck under, turn the knee out. So the feet are turned out, just gently opening the hips, giving them that little bit of external rotation. If that doesn't feel good for your hips or knees or ankles, come back to just having the tops of the feet on the floor. Let's take one more breath. We'll bring the legs back to a neutral position, tucking the toes under, placing the hands underneath the shoulders. We'll come up to kneeling and then pressing the hips up into downward dog. Softening the knees, lengthening through the spine, rotating the shoulder blades back toward each other. Head is between the arms with the chin gently away from the chest. And then as it feels okay, you can begin to lengthen the heels down, extending the legs just as much as feels okay. Rooting into the left foot. If it feels okay, you could reach the right leg up behind you. And if it feels okay, you could bend the knee, stacking the right hip over the left, opening the front of the hip. And we'll come back to the center. Bring that right knee in toward the chest, shifting the weight forward for a moment, taking a breath in and out. And then we'll bring that right foot back down, pressing through both hips, softening the knees. We'll press into the right foot, and if it feels okay, lifting that left leg up behind you. And again, if it feels okay, bending the knee, stacking the left hip over the right, opening the front of the hip. And we'll come back to the center, draw that left knee, into the chest, shifting the weight forward for a moment. And lowering that foot down, pressing back through both hips, dropping both heels as far as feels comfortable. And then walk the hands back toward our feet. Releasing the back of the neck as we come into Uttanasana, forward bend. Pressing into the feet, lifting up through the sitting bones to lengthen through the back of the legs. And with your next inhale, we'll soften the knees, sweep the arms out and up, palms together over the head. Exhaling, hands to the heart. I'm going to work with that forward bend with a breathing practice today. So the complete breath that we do, I feel like I need to adjust the camera, sorry. With the complete breath in a standing position. So bringing the hands to the heart, rooting through the feet, softening the knees. We'll inhale, lifting the arms up over the head, palms together. Exhale, soften the knees, swan dive, floating all the way down, scooping up energy from the earth. And with your inhale, palms together up the midline of the body to the heart, all the way up to the sky. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, scooping up energy from the earth, drawing it up through the midline to the heart and up toward the sky. Exhale, fold over. So continue following this pattern, allowing space for the breath to be drawn in And allowing the forward fold to help expel the breath, completely letting it go. With your last inhale, we'll bring the hands back to the heart. We'll take a couple of breaths here, just noticing how you feel. It can be a helpful breath to give us a little bit of energy, reinvigorating us, and perhaps if you're feeling like you're not breathing very deeply and it's hard to get that breath moving, then using the whole body to help is a good way as well. Let's work with Vrksasana tree as our balance pose today. So if you'd like to use a chair or wall for support, please go ahead and have that available. We'll start in mountain pose with our feet hip width apart, spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong. Soften the knees, lift the toes, and spread them wide as you lower them down. Finding a focus spot for your gaze, we'll shift our weight to the left leg, turning the right knee out to the side, resting the heel against the ankle, working on balance by lifting the toes, or if it feels okay, bringing the foot to the calf. Or again, if it feels okay, you could bring the foot into the groin, just not directly on the knee. Bringing the hands to the heart when you're ready and you find that steady place. Rooting into the left foot, lifting up out of the left hip gently, keeping the knee slightly bent. Stay here, or if it feels okay, extending those arms up, growing branches, palms together or apart, whatever feels right for your body. Softening the shoulders. Finding your center. When you're ready, you can bring the hands back to the heart, gently lowering that right leg, shaking out the left. We'll find our balance on both feet again. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes, spread them wide as you lower them down. Shifting your weight to your right leg, knee slightly bent. Left leg turns out to the side as we find our focus spot. You can lift the toes for balance, bring the foot to the calf or up into the groin. And when you find your steady place, bringing your hands to the heart. Rooting into the right foot, lifting up out of the right hip gently, keeping the knee slightly bent. And if it feels okay, extending those arms up, palms together or apart. Softening the shoulders, engaging the belly muscles. Finding your steady place. We'll bring the hands back to the heart and gently lower the leg down, shaking out both legs. And let's spread our legs nice and wide. And we'll turn the right foot to point toward the short end of the mat. Left heel drops back. Hips are open to the front left corner of the mat. I guess that's the front right corner of the Depends on which direction you're looking. For the wide end of the front right corner of the mat. Or work with Trikonasana today. And if you want to use a chair or anything for support, so you could have the chair out in front where you could put your hand on that. You could also add a block. I didn't bring mine down today, under here for support as well. So let's press our feet into the mat and inhale the arms out at shoulder height. As you exhale, press the left hip toward the back end of the mat. Right arm reaches all the way out as far as it can go. Holding your torso there, drop the right hand toward the mat or chair or block. Left arm up toward the sky if that feels okay for your shoulder, or bringing the hand to the low back if that feels better. We're going to rotate the torso to face the wall in front of us, rooting through both feet, lengthening through the spine. Soften through the hamstrings of the right leg. With your next inhale, push into the feet, lift up tall. And we'll go into the posture one more time. Exhale, pressing the left hip out. Reach the right arm across a little bit further if that feels okay. Floating that right arm down, rotating the ribs as you float the left arm up or tuck it at the low back. Nice long spine. Belly muscles are engaged. Softening through the hamstrings of the right leg. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, float the hands down. We'll switch our feet. Left foot pointing toward the short end of the mat. Right heel drops back at a 45-degree angle. Hips open to the side of the mat. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Right hip presses toward the short end of the mat. Left arm reaches across to the other side. Floating that left arm down onto a chair, block, or resting against the leg. Right arm floats up toward the sky or rests at the low back. Rotating the torso to face the wall. Pushing into both feet, lengthening through the spine. Softening through the hamstrings of the left leg. Finding your steady place. With your next inhale, press into the feet. Lift up tall. Exhale, press the right hip back. Left arm reaches out just a little further if that feels okay. Floating the hand down. Right arm floats up toward the sky or at the low back. Rotating the ribs to face the thigh. Sometimes we want to pull back with that right arm, so see if we can make sure to float it straight up out of the shoulder and do the rotating through the ribs. Lengthening through the neck, rooting into both feet. With your next inhale, press into the feet and lift up tall. Exhale, floating the hands down. Let's bring both feet to face the long end of the mat. We'll interlace the fingers. Inhale the palms up over the head. As you exhale, we'll turn and fold over the right leg, sweeping the hands across to the left and up. Exhale, right leg. Inhale, sweep and lift. One more time on this side. And then with your next exhale, we'll go the other direction, folding over the left leg, Sweeping to the right and lifting. Exhale, lower, sweep and lift. And one more time, following your breath. And then as you exhale, arms out to shoulder height, folding forward, hands under the shoulders onto the floor or blocks. Soften the knees, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips up behind you. Nice long spine. Let's walk the hands over toward the right leg. We're going to lift the toes and point those toward the short end of the mat and bring the hands on the inside of the right foot. We'll come up to the toes of the back foot, gently dropping the hip down, coming into a low lunge. If it feels better for your body to lower that back knee down, please do that. Lengthening the spine, can stay here, or if it feels okay, you could come onto the forearms into lizard pose. And if it feels okay, you could also let the right knee drop out to the side, opening that hip a little bit more. Again, left knee either on the mat or in the air, depending on what feels right for your body. We'll come back onto the hands and walk ourselves back to the center. Taking a breath in and out, noticing how the right and the left hip feels. And then we'll turn the toes of the left foot toward the short end of the mat, walking those hands over to the inside of the foot. Coming up to the toes of the right foot as we drop the hip down, just as far as feels okay. Again, that back knee can be down on the mat or in the air. And then if it feels okay, you could come onto the forearms into lizard, dropping the left knee out to the side if that feels okay. Again, either having the right knee down or up in the air. And coming back to the hands, we'll come back to the center, pressing both hips out, lengthening the spine. Walking the feet a little closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. Lifting those sitting bones, lengthening a little more through the hamstrings. And then gently lowering the hips, coming into Malasana squat. You can work with a high squat. Could add a block behind the heels in the center, lowering down to that. You can lower the hips down to the heels or come all the way to the mat, pressing the elbows or walking the feet a little further out, pressing the elbows into the thighs or knees. From either position, lengthen the spine, shoulders tucked down the back. Breathe into the hips. And when you're ready, you can lower the rest of the way down. And let's bring the right leg, nope, that's the left leg in, extending the right leg out. We'll work with alternate leg stretch, Janusirasana, with a bit of the twist, again, opening the side of the body a little bit more. So if you would like to, you're welcome to wrap a strap around the arch of the foot as a kind of as your anchor point there, or you're welcome to leave that, whichever feels right. You can bring the right hand to the left knee as an anchor point instead if you would like. When you're ready with your inhale, lift your left arm up by your ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift. And exhale, reach. Hold and breathe, dropping that left hip toward the mat, lifting the heart and reaching through the fingertips. Breathing into the side of the body, creating space. With your next inhale, lift up tall, and exhale, float the hand down. We'll switch our legs. Right foot in toward the groin, left leg extends out. If you're using the strap, go ahead and place that on the left foot, again as that anchor for you to hold on to, or you can bring that left hand to the right knee. Inhale the right arm up by the ear, and as you exhale, reach across the body. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift, and exhale, reach. Hold and breathe. Dropping that right hip toward the mat, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. Breathing into the side of the body. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, float the hand down. I just realized I forgot to have us do crescent on the other side. So we'll extend the left arm out over the leg, right hand to the mat. You can inhale, bringing that left arm over the ear, is our counter pose. You can also come up onto the knee and hand if that feels okay for your knee and wrist. And inhale, lifting up and coming back down. Let's switch our legs and we'll do a little crescent on this side too, just to make sure we're all balanced. Left hand to the mat, right arm extends over the leg. Again, inhale, lifting that right arm over the ear. Or if it feels okay, coming up onto the knee and wrist. Just doing what feels right for your body today. And then lifting up tall and floating the hand down. Let's come back to a cross-legged position. Lengthening the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. With your next inhale, reach to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder, tucking the right shoulder back and down as you breathe into the left side of the neck. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. As you exhale, drop the left ear over the left shoulder, tuck the left shoulder back and down. As you breathe into the right side of the neck. With your next inhale, come back to the center. And as you exhale, turn your chin over your right shoulder. Hold and breathe, lifting the heart, shoulders back and down. With your next inhale, come back to the center. And as you exhale, turn the chin over the left shoulder. Hold and breathe. Heart is lifted, shoulders back and down. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. Let's drop the chin toward the chest, keeping the heart lifted and the shoulders back and down, releasing the back of the neck just a little more. And with your next inhale, lift up tall and let the breath go. Let's bend the knees, coming to the center of the mat. Round the spine, drop the chin, and gently roll back. Tucking the shoulders under, arms alongside the body. We'll lift the feet up toward the sky. And you can either rock the hands or a block underneath the hips to support the legs. Excuse me. Ankles and knees are soft. The shoulders fall back to the mat. As you breathe into the belly. Bend the knees. Rock the hands out from underneath the hips. Hugging the knees in toward the chest as you rock from side to side, massaging the low back. Or if it feels okay, drawing the knees in and out, making small circles with the back. And reverse the circles. We'll come back to the center. Bringing the arms out at shoulder height. Palms facing down, knees together. Gently dropping them to the left, vision to the right. Breathing into the spine, letting go. And with your next inhale, coming back to the center. And exhale, lowering the knees to the right, vision to the left. Releasing through the spine. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. Lower the feet down. If you'd like, you can walk the feet to the edges of the mat, resting the knees together. Or if it feels okay for your low back, you can lengthen the legs out. You can also add a blanket rolled up or a bolster underneath your knees. I encourage you to cover up a little bit just to keep the warmth in your body. As you find your comfortable Shavasana position, if your legs are extended, have the feet about hip width apart. Arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allowing each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. If you'd like to receive Reiki through Shavasana, open yourself to receive that now. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself. Sending that loving kindness on the breath to each and every cell of your body. Honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can gently bend your knees, roll to your side, and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our communities, and for ourselves. Well, thank you all for taking time for yourselves and joining me today.